Yes, thank you very much for inviting me to this symposium with my presentation. Um, it is very much a practical demonstration, you can say, though it's online. And I will start my screen share right now immediately. Okay, I hope this is visible now. Yes, it looks like that. Okay. Yes. So the title of my presentation, that's curating exhibitions with vox and recordings in the global south, a case study from Nagaland. And yes, as mentioned, I'm not going to speak much about theory or the research project that preceded this exhibition. The reason for this is that I have already talked about this in the IASA 2022 presentation. Furthermore, there are two articles that I wrote about that project, and you can find those in the IASA journal and in the Highlander journal. Yeah, nevertheless, a little bit of theory. So as we all know, sound exhibitions are common means of outreach and engagement at audiovisual archives in the Western world, and where professional service providers exist who can facilitate such events. Now, in countries of the global south, such service providers are usually rare or non-existent, which complicates matters. And moreover, exhibitions that are organized during recirculation projects usually take place at larger universities, libraries, or archives. And these are usually located at some distance to the communities that such events are supposed to attract. And then lastly, we know that cultural heritage communities, they may not use audiovisual materials held by academic institutions, even if they are located in close spatial proximity, as class barriers tend to discourage access. So all of these factors, this complicates creating sound exhibitions that are really attracting people and that have a good public outreach, especially in regions where there's not much exhibition culture. Sorry about that. All right. Yes, so the background of the exhibition, that was the research project on recirculating J.H. Hutton's Sunday recordings in Nagaland. And this was in early 2022. It was about re-evaluating the 14 vox Cinder recordings of the British administrator anthropologist John Henry Hutton from about 1915 to 1919. And there were 4 project partners: the British Rivers Museum in Oxford, the ARCE in India, and the Ireland Institute in India. So the cylinders were actually held by the British Rivers Museum, and where they were sent by Hutton originally, and they were digitized by the British Library later. And yeah, so this project in 2022, it concluded with the sound exhibition Naga Ancestral Voices, Songs, Stories, and Beliefs, where we put some of Hutton's recordings on soundboards, which I will talk about later. Here, a little bit of a sound example, which starts with the voice of Hutton. This is one of his cylinders from the collection.
Dakota song of Mr. Williams.
And here you see a screenshot of the website of the Pretorius Museum from a previous project during which those cinders were digitized and archival material was evaluated. And so the cinders are also accessible on the website of the Pretorius Museum. Nonetheless, very few listeners that we met during fieldwork in Nagaland were actually aware of the existence of the cinders or of the website. So it was definitely a useful project. And here are two small maps about the location of Nagaland in India and the Naga inhabited areas, which expand beyond Nagaland itself, also across the border towards Myanmar. Yes, and so we planned this exhibition jointly and collaboratively, and there were many people involved actually. So there were, first of all, the Naga staff of the Haile Institute. So the Haile Institute is an independent research institute that's located in Kohima, the capital of Nagaland. And yes, it also has an internship program, which attracts a lot of students from Kohima Science College. And it has also visiting interns from abroad. In this case, there was a French intern which helped us with organizing the exhibition. Apart from that, the Haile Institute has a research fellowship community, which is essentially global. So there are American, British, and German research fellows, such as me. And at the time of the exhibition, we were based in 3 countries, at least, if not 4, if you include France. And so it was we had Cambridge. There was also staff from the MAA. In Cambridge, they were advising us, and then Tromsø in Norway, and Kolkata, Delhi, and Kohima. So it was quite a global effort, one might say. Here, just this short picture of a flyer from the internship program, which is quite popular, actually. Regular attracts quite a lot of students. So the issues we faced, that were, as mentioned, the lack of exhibition culture in Kohima, the state capital of Nagaland. There are basically not many museums or galleries. And then the Haile Institute is located on the outskirts of Kohima, which made it difficult to attract people. In general, the infrastructure of the region is quite poor, the roads, and there are power cuts. We had limited financial resources, limited human resources, and as mentioned, project team members in different countries. Then also a lack of professional service providers and limited available of technical equipment. Lastly, the Wi-Fi was quite unstable, which was relevant as we tried to live stream the exhibition, which unfortunately didn't work so well. So what we did to resolve these issues, first of all, we tried to do some good PR. We announced the exhibition on the website of the Haile Institute via social media and press releases. We hung up posters in Kohima, including in the vicinity of the Institute. Well, in general, the Institute has a backup power inverter, which was very important. We combined different funding sources and try to apply cost-efficient solutions. Yes, we engaged people from various backgrounds, let's say staff interns and research fellows in the planning and setup of the exhibition, online collaboration, and some DIY work also, as you will see later. Lack of technical equipment, this was resolved by importing some players from the UK. And eventually we also had to change the IT service provider. And unfortunately, we did that too late, but certainly useful for our next event. Here's a small map of Kohima. So this is about the center of Kohima, as you can see from the signs on the map. And here's the Haile Institute, so which is quite at a distance if you look at these roads. These are interns of the Heine Institute and the board member. It's quite an unassuming building, as you can see. It's actually in the souterrain, so it's below. And these are typical Nagaland roads, one might say, of the better kind. It goes much worse than that. And but it shows the vicinity of the Heine Institute, so just for you to get an impression. And this is a screenshot from the website of the Heine Institute. This is from a different event. So what we did, we tried to make the exhibits kind of, we give them some variety, essentially. So we took 2 soundboards with hut and cylinder recordings, and then to complement those, to have something in better sound quality also, we took some contemporary recordings of Naga traditional music made by the German recordist Thomas Kaiser. And we put those on the second soundboard. Also, a little bit to showcase the development and maintenance of Naga traditional music. Then we had standees from an Indian company. These were sent to the Heine Institute. This provided some background information on Hutton's research, the research project, and also Kaiser's recordings. Then we had 3 sound recordings of Naga speakers telling the parable of the prodigal son from the Linguistic Survey of India, kindly provided by the British Library Sound Archive. So thanks to Michele, who's in the audience today, I believe. And yes, then to complement that with some visual art, we also had some exhibits revolving around the topics of Naga music, religion, and folklore, designed by a local artist. Then we had a pinboard thematizing contemporary soundscapes of Nagaland, essentially posters, concert tickets, flyers, etc. And this also included a QR code for the YouTube playlist, which we assembled. And we had essentially hoped to at least display some Voxcinder, which I had with me, but we abandoned that plan because it was kind of very challenging to find a suitable display case. So in the end, we just put on a printout archival image of a cylinder phonograph and cylinders. And this is how we planned the setup that was essentially online on a website called miro.com, which worked very well for this purpose. So this is essentially the space of the Heine Institute. So we started planning where to put up things, where to put what, and where to put the standees and soundboards, as you can see here. And yeah, so sorry about that. So we did, also for the soundboards, we did the construction and design planning on Miro. And this was essentially, we used local and also foreign resources. So we had wooden boards and stands manufactured by a local carpenter shop. Then a vinyl print from a local print shop for the soundboard fronts. Sound players from the UK, they were imported to India by one visiting researcher. And then we had headphones and micro SD cards from Indian online retailers and put everything together ourselves. This is how we started. This is not our soundboard. This is just how we started on Miro by brainstorming what kind of soundboard could we make. So we found these pictures online, and then we start discussing how we would do that. These are the drafts for the soundboards that we created first on paper and then uploaded online. Yes, including discussions. And this is actually the carpenter shop that made the soundboards, I mean, the wooden parts. So it's in the vicinity of the Heine Institute, and here you see the carpenter. This is obviously not a soundboard, this is a table, but he made the soundboards. And this is how they look like. So basically here the wooden stand and the board. And then we had these vinyl prints with information on the recordings. Cut them to size and we pasted them on the soundboards. these holes we cut out with carpet cutters, and then they were drilled by me, as you can see, and others also. And then we put these push buttons. These were also imported from the UK. And here you see the platform where we put the sound player. So this is the sound player, sound clip 16, which worked really well. And these are the push buttons, which we imported from the UK. And then we eventually we put these headphones on a simple hanger on the side. Yeah, in the end, it worked quite well, actually. And here you see the soundboard. It has a backside that you could open to access the equipment. And here's a sound example of a song by Thomas Kaiser, which we put on the second soundboard that you can see here. It's Naga traditional music from the 21st century.
Hey, 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 hey,
And yeah, this was sorry about that. This was, I don't know why this is happening. So this was the logo that we designed for the exhibition. This is the one we eventually used and also appeared on the posters that we made. We had a musical performance of traditional music at the exhibition opening to attract audience, essentially, to the event. And yeah, here you see a few pictures from the opening. So this included talks and a book stand. There was a visiting film team who documented the whole thing, and catering, of course, and visitors. Yeah, and this is how we put up the soundboards in the exhibition. So these were the hot-end recordings with some historical information and information about the research project that I conducted. Here also a short clip from the exhibition opening. This is by a Naga musician playing a traditional flute. Yes, and during the exhibition, we conducted workshops with students from schools and colleges from the surroundings. These include some kind of games with recognizing historical and sorting, essentially, historical recording devices according to the year of invention, and then presentations, and of course the soundboards. So these were quite useful to attract especially the younger generation, which nowadays hears a lot of modern music in Nagaland, a lot of Western music also. And this is the clipboard that I talked about of modern music ephemera. And yeah, this was the visual art items that we included. This is actually a musical instrument, a bull roar, as you can see the artist explain here.
I'm Mao Aaron Audio. I'm an artist and I'm also an art educator. Right here is my centerpiece of the whole exhibition is called the Bull Roarer. So here, it's a double-sided hanging sculpture. I carved this into the shape of the Bull Roarer. This is a young Konya boy who is actually playing with a Bull Roarer. So Bull Roarer is a forgotten instrument, but in the early days, Bull Roarer was played to chase away spirits.
And yeah, here also the painting that he made based on the recordings from the linguistic survey of India that I talked about. This was also displayed in the exhibition. So the visitors' feedback was very good, actually. And so it was quite a successful event, one might say. And I think the reasons why it worked well was that we started early. We planned almost, I think, 9 months. So it was timely and careful planning, and try to use the available human and financial resources efficiently. Also, online collaboration was very important. That allowed us to combine the research fellows and also local expertise regarding various things, the timing of the exhibition, and how to present the recordings. And then, as mentioned, combining local available material and labor resources with imported technical equipment and DIY work. That was quite important for the soundboards, which worked quite well, despite their simple construction. Now, one thing that we did not do, which we should have done, was putting cultural disclaimers alongside the soundboard with J.H. Hutton, who uses colonial language in his recording documentation. And so this was something, partly because of time limitations, that we essentially did not do. The idea was to present the recordings in their original context. This is why we put this description, as it were, on the soundboards. But looking back, we would we should have taken cultural disclaimers, definitely. Yeah, overall, I think this is quite a good example of how to do such a sound exhibition, how it can be made possible. And it's not so easy, actually. I actually asked a colleague from the British Library who just concluded a major research project in the Pacific region, and they had planned a sound exhibition, but I'm not sure. I think it didn't take place, actually. So probably because of these logistic issues. And these are my references.